Hello and welcome everybody to Downsizing Made Easy. Hello to everyone that's joining us live this morning, and hello to anyone that's watching us on YouTube. We can interact if you're live or watching the recording. So use the chat to ask any questions, or you can unmute yourself and ask out loud. And if you are watching the recording, you can make comments which find their way to me via email. I won't be able to reply straight away, but I will get back to you. But looking forward to sharing you about downsizing made easy. Today, when we're talking about downsizing, we're going to be talking about either moving to a smaller home, moving to retirement living, but also just generally decluttering as well. I think for many of the people I work with at home, they could absolutely just downsize their stuff to fit better into their lifestyle and their home. So yeah, looking at moving to a smaller home, moving into retirement living, or just general decluttering. So there'll be a broad spectrum of what we're sharing about today. We're going to look at our attachment to our objects and how we can sort of loosen our grip on our stuff to make decluttering easier, and understand that to comfortably live in a smaller space, we need to have less stuff, and that's okay. You know, there is far more to gain from having less than there is to having more. So we're going to be talking about that today. Let me know, what is your intention? As I said, either unmute yourself and shout it out, or share in the chat, or if you're watching the recording, in the comments. What's your intention today? Why did you come along? What are you looking to learn? Changes of any sort are easier with a clear intention. We're going to focus on looking at our mindset towards downsizing, and also practical tips to get started, and also some other ways we can continue our decluttering journey after today, as we are, it's fun to come along and do this session today. We'll leave motivated and all that sort of thing, but we want to keep the motivation going, and make this something that's been given us some practical tips as well to keep going. So we've got some more workshops coming up over the next fortnights. And also I've got a Get and Stay Focused program I'll tell you about shortly, which is starting on the 7th of April. 2 hours on a Tuesday morning. You come and join online. You can either do some paperwork or some decluttering. It's just a space to help keep you accountable. So I'll talk about that. Get and Stay Focused 5-week program. And we can also come and help you if you are in Melbourne with some hands-on decluttering help. So there's lots of additional help after the session today. So here I am. My name is Julie Cliff. My business is Space and Time, and I'm a professional organizer and declutter coach. Before starting my business 11 years ago, I was an executive assistant and administrator, helping people get and stay organized. I now run a team of professional organizers here in Melbourne, and 2 in Geelong. Married, a husband who is working on the dining room table today, is working from home a little bit more while the petrol is so expensive. And also a teenager and a 20-year-old, they're both home today as well. So it feels a little bit like deja vu, and that COVID has come back. So we're all playing musical desks today as we just share our spaces while everybody is at home. Let me check the chat before I get kicked off. Thanks, Dione. She says she's looking for some tips on decluttering. And Rebecca says, I was having renovations done in my house, and with all of the moving stuff out of the rooms, I realized how much stuff I actually had. I can hear you there. I was working with a family yesterday doing something very similar, Rebecca. And like you say, you move everything out of the space so you can do the renovations, and then you go to put it all back and you went, how does this all go back in again? So that is a great opportunity for us to be able to choose what actually goes back into the rooms. Thanks for sharing. So before we talk about the practical tips of decluttering and downsizing, let's have a think about our mindset towards downsizing. Let's get our mindset right. We want to think about setting us up for success and thinking about the joy of missing out, which is the joy of having less stuff rather than the fear of missing out. Studies show that anxiety detracts from the work we are trying to do. So I actually saw a little note in my cards that I sometimes have with me when I'm putting these workshops together and presenting. This one says, I don't want to spend any energy on stuff. So that really does show that research there, anxiety detracts from the work we're trying to do, because anxiety uses energy, it uses up our time, and it really does detract from what we're trying to do. So let's reduce the amount of stuff that we have around us, reduce our anxiety so we can focus on the things that we really want to be spending our time on. No, worrying and being anxious is not the right mindset to work from as well. So we'll talk about this as we go forwards. If you've got to move, if you've got to downsize, if you've got to, if you're just doing decluttering in general, let's look at just starting small, 5 minutes, 10 minutes here and there, and start as soon as you can. If you know you need to move, start well and truly before you're moving so we can do some of this decluttering before we move home. So also thinking about our mindset, our things accumulate over time. Like I moved to Melbourne 30 years ago this year, and I moved with a car full of stuff, and it wouldn't have even been a full car of stuff. And now I have a whole house and a whole garage and a whole shed, and stuff does accumulate over time. So when we are downsizing, we're thinking of moving to a smaller space. That does take a little time to whittle that down as well. So as I said before, let's start nice and early. Start as soon as you can. Start at your pace and start to learn how to live with less as well. And I do know that people can get bossed around by others during this process. Sometimes there is a real time constraint and things have to happen quickly. But I've worked with a number of clients that say their mum or their dad has passed away, it's a deceased estate type thing, and they want to honor their parents' things and they want to do it at their pace. So, please do it and let other people know that this is how you want to do it at your pace and that it does take time. Particularly paperwork is something that takes a lot of time. So start as early as you can and, stick to yourself, stick to your guns to be working at your pace. Again, I know sometimes there is no time and things have to be, done in a hurry. But let's give ourselves, honor the memories of the people that we're working through the stuff and even our own stuff. It is a process to go through. And that last point says, ask for help. Get your friends, family, or an expert like myself or my team involved when you can to do the heavy lifting. We can, we're pretty strong. Some of that actual physical stuff, whether it is moving some furniture, some light furniture, can't move big things, but even just having the extra set of hands is helpful. But be a little bit mindful as well about who you ask as well, making sure they're the right people that are going to work with you at your pace as well. But this is all about getting our mindset right. So our current life has led you to where we are at the moment, but what physical things will nurture your future self and your future life? So as I said, I live here in this house. We've been here for 23 years. I would like to think that I don't have a lot of things. I'm not a real minimalist, but I don't have a lot of stuff. But I really would need to have a good look at it if I was going to move to a one-bedroom apartment like one of my clients I visited last week. She's done a phenomenal job. It's taken some time and effort, but she's really whittled it down to fit into her studio apartment. But we need to think about what that future life is going to look like for you. As we said, we're looking at having a smaller home, maybe a retirement home, or just general decluttering. Looking around your home. Is your stuff adding to the joy in your life, or is there weight and too much of it that is dragging you down? And as I've said a couple of times already, I would love you to let go of the fear of missing out, of the idea of having lots of stuff, and embrace the joy of missing out, because as I said, we can have so much more fun, so much lighter, and so much more purpose if we're not spending our energy. Like I said before, I don't want to spend any more energy on stuff, because when we have more, it's more to clean, more to pick up after, more to move around, more to dust, more to sweep under. So let's surround ourselves with the things that are going to bring joy and light and love to your future life and your future self and your future home. That's what we're working towards today. So even when we're looking at our new life and our new home, and that can be still within our current home, because we can still look at it as a new home. If we, give it a bit of a zhuzh, it will feel so different. I really want you to give considerable thought to what you take with you. When we moved to when we renovated our home 15 years ago, we were very deliberate about creating the spaces in our home to fit our items that we use a lot, whether it's baking things in the kitchen, whether it's entertaining. We were very deliberate about how we set up our kitchen in particular and other storage spaces. But when you're looking at moving, do you really want to take everything that is in your current home and then live, absolutely cramped, and you're having to wiggle between, little paths around your new home? Or are they just taking up space and aren't really adding to your new life? And only take what you truly love and is going to work with you in your new future life, because I absolutely believe we can live with less. You know what it's like when we are very lucky to be going away on a holiday or visit an Airbnb and go to a hotel, that we get there and we think, oh, how good is this? Because it's not crammed with stuff. We're not overwhelmed by stuff. We're not looking at all the things that we should be doing. We're just enjoying the spaces and enjoying the people we're with and the experiences that we are creating. So I think we can live with a lot less at home and enjoy and embrace it a lot more than we do. And I'd really love you to get ruthless. The downsized home is a new beginning and a new chapter. Yes, like I said, we have a house full of stuff here because we've got the kids, we've got their toys, we've got their sports equipment. I've got, maybe some things I used to wear when I went to work and those sorts of things. But when my husband and I are ready to downsize and move to a smaller place, perhaps a retirement place, it'll be a completely new chapter. We won't have the kids with us. We won't have their toys. We might have a few things for the grandkids with a bit of luck if they come along. But we won't be needing a lot of things that we have in our homes now. So we can thank all of that stuff and we can just let it go as a part of our past chapter and encircle or surround ourselves with things that are part of our new chapter, the one that we are working towards. And as I say there, thank your past for getting you to where you are today. and make a pledge to move forward with less stuff. So yeah, let's get ruthless. Let's get rid of that old sports equipment. Let's you know, let go of the past so we have big arms to embrace the future. And you are the boss. If we're looking at how we want our new home to look and feel, remember you are the one that is in charge. You are the boss of your stuff, not the other way around. I do know many of my clients are really encumbered by their stuff. They are, you have to move this to get to that, to move this, and then I can get the spare bed out for my sister to come and stay, which reminds me, my sister is actually coming to stay tonight. But, we want to be the boss of our stuff. It is your home. Carefully consider your thoughts on what your family members outside of your home are saying that you should do. It is your home, and the people that live in your home, you are the boss. You are in control of your home. Let me know as you're going along if you agree or disagree with any of this. As I said, feel free to unmute yourself or drop me a comment. I'm getting quite passionate about some of these things today. I have been doing this for 11 years. I see so much stuff in people's homes, which is absolutely fine if it is not a bother. But if you are so weighed down by it and you're just exhausted by it and it's just taking up so much of your time and your energy, it's really not, it's not how we want to be living our lives. This little slide here is talking about do it for yourself and your family. So as I said before, downsizing is a wonderful opportunity for you to press the reset button. Don't leave all of this stuff or half of what, we don't even use and to let them to go through. So this is doing it for yourself now. So we've got less, but also when we're not here on this earth anymore, we don't want to be leaving it to the kids to do. The kids don't want it. The kids are going to have their own stuff and going to be dealing with their own things, but they really don't want any of our things. It doesn't mean anything to them. So we can start to have that mindset as well and thinking that we can let things go. And I'll talk about this a bit more in a second, but do them a favor as well. Let's downsize for ourselves now in our new lifestyle, but also downsize for the people that we are going to leave behind when we are no longer here. Oh, actually, this previous point here, the bottom point being, so, they don't actually know the bits and pieces that are important to us and which bits and pieces weren't. So if we start to downsize and sort our things out, we can find the special medals that we were awarded at school. Maybe it was 50 years ago, but it is still an important part of our life. Maybe it was a highlight of your life. They may not know those things. They might open up a box of a tea set and they think, oh, this was your favorite tea set, but you never really liked it because you got given it by somebody. Let us go through our things, write notes, write stories, stick labels on them, so that others know what was important to you and which bits weren't. And that's going to make it much easier when we are not here anymore. Some of these things that I'm talking about, it goes along the lines of the gentle art of Swedish death cleaning, which you might have heard about before. The Swedes and the Norwegians and these Scandinavian countries are much better at talking about this stuff than we do. We don't talk about death and no longer being here very often, but it is a part of life, isn't it? That we are not going to be here one day. So let's make it much easier for those that we're leaving behind. Let me have a look at the chat. Somebody has just said something. Hello, chat. Come on, chat. Dione says, really loving all of the mindset reframing, like get ruthless, let go of past, empty and open your big arms to embrace your future. Thank you. You are the boss of your stuff. Thank you so much. I'm glad that those things have really hit the mark, because I think a lot of this is much easier if we can let go of the idea that more is better. You know, we have grown up with that mindset, haven't we? The marketers, the people selling us things, the consumerist society says more, 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 buy more, more, more. It'll make you happy. No, not necessarily. I have a business for decluttering, organizing that says too much stuff when you go past the point of just enough means no, it doesn't make us happy after a certain point. All right, so a few quick tips to get going on your downsizing journey is get started now at your pace. Doesn't matter if you're moving in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, start now. Think about what you want that future life to look like and start letting go of some of the past. Again, honor it. Take a photo of it, write about it, journal about it. Thank whoever for your journey up to this point. But we can let go of those items and move to our next season of life without the weight of those items. Start to let go or pack up the things that you're not using. So if we are getting ready to move house, as I say, start now and start packing the things that we don't use often. Maybe there's a special book collection that you definitely want to keep, but you're not going to read them again before you move to your new home. So you could start packing those things or getting somebody in to help you with that packing. Know the exact dimensions of your new home to decide what to take. So if you do have somewhere in mind that you're going to, ask whoever has sold it to you or renting it to you, what are those dimensions, or take your own tape measure, measure out the lounge room, measure out the cupboards so that you know what's going to fit. Is your current lounge suite going to fit, or you're going to need to downsize that as well? Get really clear on your numbers as to how much stuff you can fit. As I said, when we renovated in 2012, we did all of these dimensions and literally created the space of our kitchen to fit our things, and realized that a couple of the cupboards we had created weren't going to be right. So we were able to fix that. But more than likely, the space will already be created and you'll need to downsize your things to fit in that space. And we are focusing on your new lifestyle, your new downsized, lighter, freer lifestyle. So start now. Start packing those things that you're not going to use right now. Let go of some of the others. Know the size of the place that you're moving to, and focus on your future life, which will just help you let go of the items from your past that are no longer going to be a part of your future. So we've also been talking about the mindset and preparing for all of this that we're about to move on to. So these are looking at ways to get clear on what you want to achieve. So we'll talk about how we can actually start to declutter and downsize now, but really wanted to share on those ideas on getting that mindset right. Because if you're thinking, oh, don't want to do this, it's going to be hard, and I just need better storage to be able to fit everything into this small house, or maybe we can really stack things on top of each other or get an extra wall unit. I really don't think you need to do all that. I think having less is better. Also made me think of, I got a new car just before COVID hit in the start of 2020. And I had all this stuff in the glove box of the previous car, and I got it all out and I'm going, do I really want to put all of this stuff in my brand new car? So I was really being mindful of what I put into this beautiful new space. It was the first new car we'd ever had, I think. And it's the same as your new house. Do you want to take all this rubbish, all these trinkets into your brand new space? I'll stop rapiding on about that again now. Let me have a look at the chat, and then we're going to move into some more bits and pieces. Here we are. And yeah, looking at all of that mindset stuff can be really helpful to start getting into the steps here. And many of you have done my workshops before, and we go through the six steps of the space and time organizing system. I'm going to do that now in relation to downsizing. We've got many workshops on YouTube going through the various places of the house: kitchen, bathroom, garage, craft room, looking at these same 6 steps. Because I've been really talking about mindset today, I'm only going to be able to really zoom through these 6 steps, but highly recommend for you to have a look at our YouTube channel and just have me gibbering away in the background talking about bathrooms while you are in the bathroom having a go at it, and follow the 6 steps as I go through it. You'll get a lot done in an hour while you're listening to me present on bathrooms, same as the garage. But today was really talking about mindset with downsizing, because as I said, you can't take it all with you. You can't put a whole house of stuff into a one bedroom studio apartment. There really needs to be some changes to how we think. I'm going to move on to these 6 steps now, and as I said, we're going to whiz through them and look at these 6 steps. So the first step in the space and time organizing system is stop the stuff.
What?
And then we're also going to have a look at the second step, your commitment to being organized. The third step, sort the stuff. Fourth step is things you no longer need. So that's the decluttering. Easy storage, and then maintenance tool. So as I said, we're only going to whiz through these today because I really thought the most important part today was mindset. If we get to the end of these 6 steps now and we're still, I still haven't covered everything you wanted to learn today, please send me an email. I'll share email address at the end of the session, and we'll send up a follow-up email this afternoon with the links, my email address, and all of those things. Drop me a note and let me know if I've missed anything, or let me know about your specific circumstance. If only my words would come out. But let's delve into these 6 steps now. So the first step of the space and time organizing system is stop the stuff. And we've touched on this a little bit already, actually quite a lot, that having too much stuff, and particularly if we're looking into your smaller home, your retirement home, your smaller home, 1 bedroom studio apartment, for example, too much stuff is overwhelming. There's more to clean, there's more to organize, there's more to manage, and it's overstimulating. You're looking everywhere and there's just stuff to do and something you should pick up, and I should have done that yesterday, and where's that piece of paper? Stuff gets in the way of productivity, stuff gets in the way of relationships, stuff gets in the way of our focus and our contentment, because we're always thinking more, instead of, really being grateful for what we have. To name a few things of how clutter gets in the way. So it is really, really difficult to make any progress on our clutter if there is still more flowing in the front door. So if we've got more things turning up from Amazon, Temu, any of these delivery places, if they're still arriving on your doorstep, if you're still going to the shops and buying things you don't know, if you're still going to the op shops and buying things just because they're cheap, or gee, that's a bargain. If we've still got more things coming in, that just makes it really difficult to start to be able to tackle the backlog, because you're still processing it and all your time is still spent on managing the new things coming in. I really want you to be mindful about what you can bring into your house and what you can let go as we start on this downsizing journey. So some ideas on how to stop the stuff. And as I said, if you want some more details on any of this, toys, clothes, kitchens, bathrooms, garages, check out we'll have more tips specifically for each of those on YouTube. So to stop more toys from coming in, how about we give our loved ones a voucher to go to the zoo or go to dinner or have an experience of some sort? When we go out shopping, take a list. I just need a pair of black pants at the moment. So don't be tricked by their sales that you end up buying 3 pairs of jeans because it was buy 2, get 1 free. Just be very careful of saying, oh, it was such a bargain, I couldn't leave it there. Being really mindful of stopping more things from coming in the front door, particularly if you've got too many clothes already. And take a friend with you if you're going shopping. And yeah, literally go to the shops and try it on. Online shopping isn't very successful a lot of the times, I find. And when we're doing any shopping, take a list and stick to it and return things if it's not fit for purpose. If we want to reduce the amount of paper that's coming into the house, unsubscribe to stuff like magazines or newspapers if we're not reading them anymore. Make time to read it, and also limit the number of interests you're pursuing at once. Because often when we have different hobbies, there's more stuff that comes with it. Maybe you could do 1 semester of Spanish, 1 semester of watercolors, and rather than having too many things on the go. If we're looking at minimizing our stuff and having less coming in, having less interests at once could be a good way of doing it. When someone's trying to give you something, whether it's a family member or hand-me-downs or walking up the street and they want to give you a hand cream sample, you can just say, no, thanks. No is a complete sentence. Back yourself. Don't take it and then go, oh, I wish I didn't take it. We can easily say no. And keepsakes and memorabilia. Again, we do have a couple of great workshops recorded on YouTube about keepsakes and memorabilia, and we just did that 2 weeks ago. And saying no to family heirlooms. Ask somebody else in the family to look after those precious things. If you're in a small apartment, you ain't got room for somebody else's things, but we might want to just hang on to one of grandma's teacups or teapots rather than her whole collection. We'll talk about that a bit more as well, but these are practical tips to stop more stuff from coming in. Oh, I just realized I filled up my water and left it on the kitchen bench before. I'll have to wait. Have you other tips to share with us about stopping more stuff from coming in? Please share it in the chat now. Let's go on to step number 2, your commitment to being organized. So this one is saying there is no magic wand for getting organized. I'm going to share some tips today. Hopefully we're going to continue on this journey together, but being organized takes time, commitment, focus, and persistence. Let's not worry about your wife or your husband or the kids right now. Let's get you organized. Sometimes I get a bit grumpy because the kitchen bench, which is quite a large area, looks a bit messy, and I look at it and go, oh, that's right, I left the bread tie there. Oh, that's my phone there. Oh, that's my thing that I need to do. So I go, okay, I better tidy that up myself before I start pointing the fingers at others. And that's what I want you to do as well with this. Let's be inspiring to those that are around us, and even share how we're doing things when we're decluttering and downsizing to encourage those around us to do the same. Also, let's put some time in the calendar to get started. Literally, put it in the diary. Write it on a book, write it on a piece of paper, write it on your wall calendar, write it on your diary, put it in the Google Calendar. Literally put the time in and stick to that decluttering and downsizing time, just as though it is a specialist appointment or a doctor's appointment. You wouldn't decide, oh, no, I'm not going to the doctor's today. I don't feel like it. I'm not going to the specialist. I don't have enough energy. Sometimes that does happen if you're not feeling well or you are really sick. But I want you to show your commitment to being organized and this downsizing process and journey by putting that time in the calendar, to really make time to do it. Because if you just think, oh, I'll do it at some stage, it just doesn't happen, because we have more important things pop up, and your important things get pushed to the back of the line. Right, step 3, sort the stuff. So this is all about making sense of the jumble of stuff that we have. This is my kitchen utensils. It all lives in one drawer. I'm lucky to have a big space in our kitchen that all this stuff does fit in it. But from that jumble on the left, if you've been to my workshops before, you would have heard me tell this story before. From that jumble on the left, you would never know that I have 7 vegetable peelers. Actually, there's more than that now. My husband bought some other ones that do different things. But yeah, you'd never know from that jumble on the left. But once you start to sort it out, your brain can start to make sense of what we've got. Like all the knives are together, all the spatulas are together, all of the scissors are together, all of the 7 vegetable peelers are together. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, there is 7. But sorting can really help our brains make sense of it. So we can use sorting as a really important step in our decluttering and downsizing journey. So you can start with your utensils, or you can start with the top drawer in your desk. I'm just looking at mine. There's lots of things in there that don't really need to be in there. And we just sort. We're not getting rid of anything yet. We're just putting like things together. And it's amazing the sort of flow that starts when we just start sorting. When I go into somebody's house and they've got a room full of stuff, like yesterday in a toy room, and you just look at it and you go, whoa, that's a big mess. And yes, it does look overwhelming. But then we just started to put all of the sets of toys together. We put all the puzzles together. We put all the Lego together. We put all the magnets together. We put all the dinosaurs together. And once we did that in the different tubs that we had, the room was looking pretty good before we'd done too much effort at all. So I'd really encourage you to start this sorting. Again, we're not getting rid of anything just yet. We're just sorting, and we're doing a small amount of it as well, because we want to make this so it's not overwhelming. Yes, it is going to take time doing it like this, but we're just getting some sort of order now so that we can see what we've got, and then the next step will be starting to let things go. So if you're looking at sorting household goods, you might put your small appliances together, or baking dishes, maybe your batteries, your tape, your blue tack might go together, or sorting the toys, like I just said, or sorting paperwork. So sorting things physically can be really helpful, just so that we can see what we've got. I've done this every time I work with clients. This process works, but really works very well when you've got a big jumble of things, like say a box of old technology. So, well, let's put all the iPhones together. Let's put these USB cords together. Let's put the power packs together. And then we can really start to make some decisions on what to keep and what to let go from there. So far, we've looked at the first 3 steps of the space and time organizing system. So stopping more stuff from coming in, putting time in the calendar, so your commitment to being organized to do it. And then we've just started sorting. So we are really getting ourselves set up ready for the next step, which is the decluttering step. So what we do from our sorted piles is then we can start making decisions as to what to keep and what to let go. And a great way to help us to let things go is to know where we can donate stuff. So we do have a donations page on our website, which is very relevant to Victorians. If you're elsewhere, you might need to Google some of these things and go, where can I donate used sports equipment, or how can I get rid of old x-rays, those sorts of things if you're not here in Melbourne. But knowing where you can donate these things can be really helpful, and get somebody to help you drop off the donations or ring them and get them to come and pick up the donations just to get them out of the house and get things moving. So in this decluttering step, we can also start with the easy things as well, like the broken things, the things you're not working, the things that aren't working, things that can't be repaired. Some of these things might have to go into landfill. I know we do try not to put stuff in landfill, but sometimes things do come to their end of life. As I said before as well, let go if you have multiple. If I needed to go to a smaller house and it had a smaller kitchen, I would definitely not have 7 vegetable peelers. Because I've got multiple, I would let some of them go. Thank the items for their service. Like I said about the things that you've had in your past that have helped you get to where you are now, thank them. I love that pair of shoes, or I love that wearing that suit to work. I love that job, but we're not any of those things, and we're not doing those things now. So thank the item for its service and let it go. Take a photo, make a video, and so you can let go of the item. But when you let go of the item, your memory of that special person, whether it's grandma, your mum, somebody that's no longer here, or that special event or that time in your life, your memories will not vanish if you let go of the item. They're still here. They're still here in your heart, and we can remember them without hanging on to the items. So don't forget about looking forward to your new life. Remember, we are decluttering to move to a smaller place, a retirement village, something like that. We're looking forward to our new life. We want to let go of things that aren't going to fit that new life. You probably don't need your ski gear anymore that you used to wear when you're 12, or your special outfit that you wore for dancing when you were 16. Again, take a photo of it and remember those special times, but we don't need that stuff. Absolutely hang on to some of it. Have a little box, have a tub, have 2 tubs. But if we're moving to a small place, our stuff is going to be really limited, isn't it? And I said before as well about dividing keepsakes and memorabilia between the other members of your family as well. You don't have to be the person that is the keeper of keepsakes. And also we'll show you some ways to capture your past life as well when we get to storage. Oh, and I missed the clothing as well. Let things go if it doesn't fit, if it's not the correct size, if it's damaged, if it's broken. Yeah, you might want to be a size 8 again, as you were when you were 15, but it's probably not going to happen. Who wants the body of a 10-year-old anyway? Really being mindful about you and embracing who you are now, and keeping the clothing that you like to wear now and is going to work for you, your lifestyle and your body now, not how things were in the past. So there's a few tips on letting things go. Again, many of our YouTube videos share ideas on letting things go, particularly the keepsakes and memorabilia is a good one if you are having difficulties letting go of items. Let's look at easy storage for our stuff in small spaces. Excuse me for looking at my watch, but I need to keep on time because we all have things to do. Easy storage for our stuff. So this is all about finding the right spot in your home for your things. Easy to find, easy to put back. We might want to label the shelf, or we might want to label the container, making it easy for you, your family members, or any outside help as well, particularly if you're moving to a retirement village and other people are coming in to help you in your home, whether it's getting dressed and those sorts of things. We want it as easy as possible for people to find things in your home. So if you've got less and it's well organized and it's nice and easy to do, and it's really good for everybody. And it's deliberately called easy. Now, it needed to be easy to fit into the word system, SYSTEM, for the easy storage. But if it's not easy, you won't do it. And I just see myself doing this all the time. I was thinking of something just recently, and a good example of it in my sewing room. If I can't get to my drawers to put away the fabric that I've just used, I'm just as lazy as the other person. I'll just put it on top and think I'll do that later because I need to hurry up and go off and do something else. So it needs to be easy so that we can actually do it. And in relation to easy storage, I really think the best storage option for small spaces is to have less stuff. It's not to have more containers, more gadgets, more levels of things. It's just to have less stuff. But that being said, I'm going to share some ideas for small spaces as well. So we want to think also, even though I just said let's have less stuff and less storage gadgets, some of these things can be really helpful, like as in stacking things up on top of each other, or having things that are going to be used for multiple purposes, using vertical spaces in the walls. And did I mention having less stuff? So let's have a look at some of these ideas. So, having boxes and containers are handy in small spaces, just so that we know where things are and we can keep things together and they're not falling all over the place. We can have easy storage ideas, just like simple Tupperware. Not that you can't buy Tupperware anymore, but, having uniform looking things. When they're all from the same brand, they look neat and tidy. You don't have to spend $1 million, but it does look neat and makes it nice and easy. There might be some storage options under a bed that might be good for linen or your shoes. And my kids used to keep their shoes under their bed like this. I've got some linen under ours like this. But again, we're not looking at where can we put more stuff. We're looking at how can we make best use of our space that we have. We might want to look at some inbuilt storage or inbuilt things in a house, like a bench that's inbuilt. Not very flexible, but it might be nice and small and might just be nice and compact for your space that you're moving into. Again, some ideas on having some vertical use of storage. Just be mindful, of course, that having stuff out on display, some people love that and that's how they work. A lot of people on the spectrum or with ADHD love to be able to see their stuff. And also older people that can't get down, or people with a disability or physical challenges can't get down into cupboards. So they might like things up on top of their benches or on walls like this. But just be mindful, it can look a little bit messy, but sometimes, being practical and being able to use and find our things far outweighs, what it looks like. And also having containers to put items in, like these containers here. One has rice, one has pasta and noodles, one has seeds and breadcrumbs. And my client here opted to label the shelf rather than the actual container. That's how she wanted to do it. And this family did have a lot of outside help coming in and preparing meals. So this made it really nice and clear to everybody coming in. And I did promise ideas on how we can capture our keepsakes as well. Take photos, make a video, You could make a nice book like this, a coffee table book and get it printed. Or maybe you have like a Google Home Nest, which I have in my home. Have I got a picture of it? No, haven't got it today. Which is just like an iPad and it just scrolls photos all day. It can do many, many more things like that, more than that. But I love to see our past events, the things the kids have done at school, the things they did at kinder, and it just scrolls and scrolls all day. And so you can have a digital time capsule, I suppose is what we call it. But then we might have lots of printed photos as well. And that is a whole different kettle of fish, another whole workshop in itself, managing our photos. But one of a nice, simple way to do this is just to be able to get some photosensitive storage boxes. This one is just a shoebox, but just start to sort them into either by decades or by the person or by the place that you went to. But at least you'd have some sort of order. Again, you could spend all day, every day and make it look absolutely beautiful. You can do scrapbooking, but it depends on how you want to be able to spend your time as well in relation to managing our photos. Let's have a look at maintenance tools, the last step. So we've gone through all these things. We've got ourselves a little more organized. How do we keep it up? How do we make being organized and being downsized something that sticks and that we can do every day to keep us organized? One of the best ways to do this is to return items to their permanent homes. So we set up permanent homes in the easy storage, return them to their permanent home straight away so that every time I use my scissors, which I've just realized is missing because I stole them to do a workshop and I haven't put them back. Put them back every time you use them. So return items to their permanent home. Unlike me that didn't, return it to its home straight away. So use the scissors, put it away. Use the scales to measure your ingredients, put it away straight away. So that's, a place for its home and everything in its place, and do it straight away is the best tip. But also knowing yourself, choose the time of day that suits your energy to be doing these things. Choose your decluttering and downsizing time. I'm a morning person, so I do lots of things in the morning, but don't ask me to do too much past 8:30 at night. My brain just starts to shut down to go to sleep. So know when the best time of the day for you is, but also know we only have so much time time in a day, but also energy in the day. You may have heard of the spoon theory, coming from the ADHD and disability sphere of, say we might only have 8 spoons in a day. How do you want to use those spoons of energy? And just be very mindful of that. And be accountable as well. Share your decluttering and maintenance journey with a friend and update them on your progress, or let me know. I'd love to be your accountability buddy. Let people know how you're going so that you're not just on this journey on your own. Also, further maintenance tools. Remind yourself, diarize the time. Like we said, put the 10 minutes in the calendar. Have a little reminder pop up. What reminders have I got on here? Nothing. No reminders this morning. I think I've done them all and turned them off. But use your technology to remind things, or you can carry it around. A little card like this one. I don't want to spend any of my energy on my stuff. Carry something around like that to remind you what it's all about, and stay committed to being organized. So these are little things that we can do each and every day to stay organized. Just let me have a quick look at the chat before I move on. Thank you, Mary Lou. She has shared a link to the Google Nest if you would like to get yourself one of them. Absolutely love our Google Nest, sharing and scrolling photos. The kids put photos as well, so they've got pictures of themselves and their girlfriends and all the rest of it. Highly recommend it. Thanks for sharing that. And I'll send out all of these links this afternoon in an email. So today we have done an audit and a check-in for how we use our space and our time, and how we want to acknowledge our past life, say thank you and goodbye to that, looking to our future life, and what stuff are we going to take to our downsized life? What are we moving towards? We've made conscious choices about what to keep and what to let go. We sorted the items. We set up the permanent homes, and then we spoke about maintenance for it. Let's let our stuff move us closer to a life that we want to live, rather than too much stuff taking us further away from the life we want to live. If you're in Melbourne and want some help to do decluttering at home, let us know. We'd love to come and help you, either myself or one of my team members. If you're here in Melbourne or Geelong, sorry, Bill, you're on the other side of the world. Can't come see you. Always glad to have you here, though. 4 hours, $440. We will get done more in 4 hours than you'll be able to get done in 4 hours by yourself. The extra hands-on help gets so much done and is just such a relief, and you'll feel so much lighter and have a real good kickstart to continue on yourself. Also, this is the Get and Stay Focused 5-week group program I mentioned. It's like a 2-hour accountability session starting on the 7th of April on Tuesdays from 10 a.m. till 12 on those dates on the screen. Come and join us. Come and bring some paperwork to do. Come and bring some decluttering to do. Come and do whatever you're doing. The last 5-week session, I was writing my book, which talks about the 6 steps of the space and time organizing system. So come and let us hold you accountable. There'll be 5 others sharing their journey as well. We'd love you to come along. $150 for, it's 10 hours. So it doesn't cost very much money at all when you look at it like that. For 10 hours, $150. The links are in the chat, and we'll send them out this afternoon. Our next workshop is in 2 weeks, Thursday the 9th, Time Management for Busy Households. So this is really going to be mainly for people with kids, I think, but it would still be relevant to anybody. How do you manage your time and get things done when there is just so much to do? Appointments and physios and speech pathology appointments and, helping our elderly parents and whatever. Come along to that session in 2 weeks' time. And just as a thank you for coming along, would love to have a chat with you. If you just need a bit of a hand, what do we do next? How do we take this that we've spoken about today and put it into your life? What's your particular journey that you're on? 15-minute chat. Send me an email to book that in, and the link is in the chat and will be sent this afternoon. Oops, I just pressed the wrong button. What did I miss? Did I miss anything? Let me have a look at the chat. Chat says, right on time. How good. Wailu, thank you so much. You are welcome. I'm glad you thought it was a great workshop. Dion, thank you again. Yes, you will be able to rewatch it on YouTube. We will send it out this afternoon. This one has been recorded and we will send it this afternoon, as well as the others. Any last questions? It's 11 o'clock. We are finished right on time. If there's nothing else, I thank you. Hope that's been helpful. Rebecca, you are welcome. And I do know there's a few of you on this call that are right in the middle of this downsizing thing now and have been working on it. I applaud you, I congratulate you, and I look forward to continuing to be in touch with you and be on that journey with you, because it is so much more fun when you've got someone on the journey with you. Send me an email if I've missed anything or if you've got any specific questions. We'll send all of this in a wrap-up email this afternoon. See you online in 2 weeks' time for the next one. Bye for now.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Julie.
Thank you. Oops, that's the wrong button. I'm trying to press the stop recording.